Hi!
Hello, I'm doing an Arnold Schwarzenegger impression for no reason.
We saw King Kong, Curse of Skull Island?
No, it was just Kong Skull Island.
Kong Skull Island.
Yeah, no, Arnold wasn't in it, but Sam Jackson was, so we'll get to that soon. I don't even know why I did an Arnold. I just like doing Arnold. But yeah, sort of basic premise. They sort of did a bit of a twist on the original story. Like rather than, the whole investigation thing happening in the 30s or 40s, or whatever. It actually takes place in the 70s, even though there a little bit of an opening scene that does take place in the 40s with this American and Japanese fighter pilots trying to kill each other, and then they crash land on the island, and then this giant monkey hand goes boo, as they're fighting, and they're just like anyway. Then it just cuts sort of 30 years in the future with that now still cool but cliche sort of montage of all the technological advancements and things in history that have happened between then just flash across the screen. Again, it's a cliche I like, but it is getting a bit overused. Then it's basically then opens to the end of the Vietnam War. So
I don't know, I was thinking he's probably not... I have nothing to contribute!
You'll probably think of something as we keep going.
I don't know, these are not generally the kind of movies I like to watch, but...
Yeah. I just watched it because popcorn flick, but anyway, we're now... so the movie sort of then opens with John Goodman and this black actor. I don't know his name. I don't know a lot of actors' names, so please don't take that as a racist statement or anything. I just don't know most actors' names.
Generic science guy number one.
Yeah, I didn't even remember John Goodman's name until you pointed it out to me.
He's a good man.
Yeah, John, right, yeah. He was Fred Flintstone in that stupid Flintstones live-action movie.
And one of the Transformers in the last Transformers movie. He was the green one.
Yeah, I don't remember much of the characters from that, aside from the...
He was fat and and tons of guns.
No, that he was voiced by John DiMaggio.
No.
Yeah, he was voiced by John DiMaggio.
Okay.
Bender.
I'm wrong. Yeah, I'm wrong. I remember hearing his voice recently in a movie, but...
But anyway, back on topic. Yeah, so basically John Goodman and this other guy are scientists. They want to get funding to research this mysterious island in the middle of the Pacific or whatever that's shrouded in clouds and called Skull Island. And then I guess the vice president or ministry of something in the White House is you guys again. They finally convinced the guy to get funding because, that John was eventually the Russians are going to find this place. Do you really want them to start searching it first? And okay, fine. Here's your research money.
That makes sense with
in the 70s,
yeah. With the idea of the Cold War being all about who can gather intel the fastest.
Yeah. And then it cuts to, basically John Goodman says he needs both scientists and military escort, and then...
And it cuts to military escort!
Yeah, basically
Samuel Jackson.
Yeah, the end of the Vietnam War with, Sam Jackson playing this, aging general that's, that basically he's stupid, bureaucracy ending the war before we can win it kind of guy, everything is war, everything is fighting, everything is victory kind of guy, and
And all the soldiers were supposed to believe in but don't really care about.
Yeah, well, it's because, we'll get to that.
I mean, because all we care about is the giant monkey, so why would we care about the rest of the guys?
We'll get to that. But yeah, basically he just... So he gets a call from like the White House that here's a new mission for you. He's like, yes, sir. Like he's like he really wants action in his life, obviously. And so then they in an odd, bizarre sort of juxtaposition, the next guy they recruit and set it up as almost as though he's just going to be a side extraneous character. The guy played by what's his name? I
know
Tom Hiddleston. Loki.
Yes, Loki. That was my first thought. Oh, hey, it's
he's
Loki.
like this sort of retired British special ops sort of. They call him a tracker. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but he's British special ops anyway. And so they get him on, to find the giant monkey, though they don't tell anybody that that's what they're looking for until they actually get to the island.
Yeah.
But yeah, then they take a bunch of helicopters, plow through the storm. Sam Jackson waxes on about, how awesome our technology is, quoting, mythology, just, and then
they get their asses handed to them.
Yeah, by
Kong.
Yeah, well, basically they start dropping these sort of seismic charges onto the ground, supposedly to sort of measure the density of the ground and how hollow it is underneath, but then that pisses off Kong, so he starts ripping all the helicopters to shreds.
But we also find out it awoke a lot of the things that want to kill him.
Yeah, these sort of like two-legged lizard
dinosaur
things.
lizards.
Yeah,
they look like they're related to dinosaurs.
Sort of. I mean, not exactly, but that they did deliberately make them look creepy. That I'll give them that. Yeah. And so especially like they just have two appendages that are like what would be like forelimbs on any other reptile, but no hind limbs, and just a giant tail behind. But
so they all get separated into their own little groups at this point because Kong's been killing most of them.
Yeah. Like, most of them died to just blow it up in the helicopters, but, and the thing is, most of these people weren't even given names or any screen time, so it's like, they're red shirts.
Yeah. And then we get a little bit of dialogue with Samuel Jackson and John Goodman. Like, we get separate dialogues for each of the groups.
And
Samuel's obviously pissed off.
Yeah, and then John Goodman...
He wants to kill Kong, because he's like...
John Goodman spills what the original mission was, apparently, like, a couple decades ago.
Giant monsters are real.
Yeah, well, and not just that, but a couple decades ago, like, briefly explains that, he got lost on a ship and then he was the only survivor, and so, like, bring the cavalry, and Sam Jackson's like, we are the cavalry.
So, and then we get Tom Hiddleston's group, which contains the Jane of the movie.
Yeah, the female character who just takes pictures of everything.
Wartime photographer.
Yeah, one praise that I will give the movie is that they didn't make her just a generic love interest. No. Rather, they just sort of made her a generic, I take pictures of everything. But that's a role that could fit a male or female character, so at least I'll give them points for that.
Yeah, and she has generic banter with Tom Hiddleston, just back and forth.
Yeah. As well as some other characters around. And they meet the
guy
from World War II.
From the start of the movie.
Yeah.
Who's now played by...
Can't remember his name. Yeah. But anyway...
The guy who was in the Two Brothers with Will Ferrell. You don't remember that movie?
I don't think I ever even saw that.
I think there were two brothers who got...
I never saw a lot of Will Ferrell movies. Doesn't interest me. Anyway...
Damn it, I can't remember his name, but...
Yeah.
He's been living on the island
for like 30 years. Like, and with these sort of like... natives that you swear came right off the cover of a National Geographic. the face paint and everything is like... These guys are right out of National Geographic, I swear. I've seen a cover of National Geographic with that exact face on it.
Yeah, and obvious swerve is obvious. It turns out to them Kong is their protector, so he's not necessarily
what a twist!
What an obvious twist! But they go through all the lore of the island.
Yeah, for, like basically exposition via perspective rocks.
Yeah. And there's one that's the biggest one that's still sleeping, that was sleeping, but there's the biggest one that could pose the biggest threat to Kong.
Yeah, I basically gleaned that it's like the queen lizard that all the others sort of pop out of.
Yeah, I guess they went, if Kong dies, then the rest of them are just gonna go past the island and destroy the rest of humanity or something.
Yeah, like Jurassic Park.
Yeah. And we also have one group that's one guy, one of the soldier guys, but he was the one who wrote a message to his son, who's now by himself, and the whole Sam's character's goal is to get to that guy, because apparently that guy has all the weapons that can kill Kong, they think. The weapons that they think can kill Kong.
Yeah. But actually, I'm not sure if that was the guy who wrote the note.
Yeah, it was, because when they got to his site, he had a note knifed into a tree. That was a note to his son with it, and he ended up getting killed. Because obvious.
Yeah. I mean, like, again, 90% of the characters in this, they're killed off like red shirts, and they act like red shirts. You really don't care who they are or what they're talking about, because they're just white noise. And that's the biggest problem of this film really is filler. It's padding of just these characters that, like, have no, good dialogue to say, nothing to really work with, and they're just get to the next freaking fight scene already. Basically, was this movie. It had Jurassic World syndrome.
I do like how one of the soldiers got with Tom Hiddleston's group, and he wasn't just generic shoot everything. Like, he had to be. I remember the scene with the giant water buffalo coming out of it. Like, he's the only one pointing his gun, and Tom Hiddleston's like, no, calm down. You have to learn when not to shoot.
Well, I did like Tom Hiddleston in this. That's another thing I will praise. Sam Jackson was great. Tom Hiddleston was great.
He was admittedly kind of like the light of logic in a sea of ridiculous bullshit.
Yeah.
With giant monsters running around, he's like, all right, we have to go this way. We have to get off the island. He's like the only sensible.
And a bit of a spoiler here. Something else I was surprised by. The way the movie opened, it looked like John Goodman was going to be the main character. He gets killed off halfway through, and then it becomes Tom Hiddleston's movie. I'm like, okay.
They went through a giant, basically graveyard, which is where it had all the bones of Kong's parents.
Yeah, which there's so much,
sulfur.
Decay. Well, not sulfur, is methane mostly, but yeah, there's so much like decay from those giant bodies that it literally made the whole place flammable.
Yeah, and you're like, it's gonna light on fire at some point. Somebody's gonna do something stupid. Yeah, and a couple seconds in, somebody does something stupid and lights stuff on fire.
Another thing that I noticed, like, so lighting up a cigarette makes it go whoosh, but yet gunfire and an actual flamethrower doesn't?
Movie logic!
Because at one point, the female character, or one of them, they pick up a flamethrower and start spraying the lizard thing with it, and like, why is this not setting the whole place on fire? It is literally throwing fire
on a fire.
Yeah, on gaseous flammable gas. So like, why is this? And then
because movie logic.
And then later, like, the female character takes like the lighter or something and then throws it, and then boom, it blows up the. Why did the flamethrower do that? Anyway, whatever.
Because they didn't want it to.
Okay.
They wanted that battle to be as illogical as possible.
Right, popcorn. It's like, right,
Spock's worst nightmare, an illogical battle. But they end up killing the giant lizard through way too much, like brutally, and then Sam Jackson's basically going mental at this point. He's like, all right, I'm gonna kill Kong.
Yeah.
And Tom Hiddleston's like,
task me, motherfucker. I had it with this motherfucking monkey on this motherfucking island.
Yes. So like earlier in the movie, they established when a recovery ship, like a plane, would come to pick them up. So their whole goal has been to get to that north part of the island to be rescued.
Yeah. And as they go along, of course, more and more characters get, like, extraneous characters get picked off, either by, getting attacked by flying monster things, or like, just, extra stuff with trying to help the Sam Jackson character with causing more casualties, and
I think one of my favorite things was the giant spider monster that looked like bamboo.
Yeah,
like that idea is so it makes sense for a spider to evolve, like a creature to evolve like that, in an island surrounded by giant monsters that you basically
except
have
the
to
squared cube law, but aside from that, it's fiction. We can suspend our disbelief on it.
But it's like it completely caught me off guard that it was a spider. Cause random guy got stabbed by bamboo, and you always like, oh shit, it's a giant bamboo spider.
Yeah, I was actually surprised that this movie was PG-13 because some of the blood in this really called more for an R. Yeah. They should have just made it an R, but I don't know. I mean, because the way the guy got impaled is like right there. Like that really is an R death scene.
Yeah. So at this point, Sam Jackson's now got all the guns. And he
Not just got guns, but bombs.
Yeah, the rest of him and his group of red shirts have set up basically what they want to be a pit of death on fire, and they lure Kong to them. And I found it hilarious that a lot of the creatures are actually smarter than the humans, because one of the characters I think throws he wants to sacrifice himself to blow up the lizard, but the lizard's like, no, I'm just gonna throw you against the wall. You're not going to kill me. It's like, okay, yeah, that's kind of smart. They knew how to survive.
Nobody, I think, really felt sad for that character because he maybe had like half a dozen lines throughout the movie, and
they were all ridiculous. He looked like a stereotypical Southern guy who drank too much.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, okay. I was actually relieved when they made that so quick. Like, yes, please just get that over with so we can get off onto the next scene. That's a real bad sign in a movie when you're like actually relieved when they kill off a character that.
Yeah, and then the giant lizard and Kong finally fight for the last half of the last chunk of the movie.
Yeah, which was actually pretty cool, especially the part where Kong, he finds this chain and
he got trapped by it.
Yes, but true, and then the humans kind of helped him escape from that, which was also cool. But even cooler than that was. He wrapped the chain around the propeller blade off an old steam engine ship, and started going to town on the lizard thing with it, using it as basically a giant brass knuckle. That was pretty cool.
And we get the iconic woman in Kong's giant hand scene, but
though different from any other rendition because she wasn't a damsel in distress. She was just sort of being helped by him.
Yeah. But also at this time, his hand goes into the lizard's mouth.
Like how did she survive that? I mean,
she's
come on.
Unconscious.
I know, but no. First of all, the amount of time she was in that thing's stomach, she should have suffocated. And second of all, the size of Kong's hand, how did he not crush her?
Yeah. Well,
like an ant. Like if you try to pick up say an ant or a little spider or something, carry it around, eventually you're gonna smush it.
Yeah. But she wakes up. Because of course we have to have a semi-happy ending.
Yeah, I mean.
And then they leave the island.
And then the character the actor that we cannot remember the name of, the guy who's been on the island for 30 years, he meets up with his family who thought he was dead since World War II, and then basically the end credits is all him watching the football game with them.
Yeah, I love the the hints from him his favorite team was the Chicago Cubs, and to his mind, the Chicago Cubs have never won the World Series. But the hilarious thing is they just won the World Series in 2016.
Yeah,
so they use that meme, but the meme's kind of dead now.
Well, I mean, I think I'm not sure about this, but it's possible that they did win once before in the 70s. I know nothing about sports, so I don't know.
No, it's been over 100 years since the last time the Chicago Cubs have won a World Series.
I'm
that much of a sports nerd.
Yeah, and I'm that much of a not sports nerd.
I feel to me I like the sports banter back and forth between the guy who's a Chicago Cubs fan and the soldier who I was mentioning earlier who turned out to be a Detroit Tigers fan.
Yeah, he's sort of the young dweeby teenager character, the one you just said, who was one of the ones who survived to the end, one of the few.
apparently this movie sets up the next, which is apparently King Kong
versus Godzilla.
which I saw.
That's most of the reason why I went to see it anyway. That and it's just a popcorn flick. Sometimes I just go to the theater just to eat, literally just to eat popcorn.
I think maybe John Goodman's lines about the monster attack he suffered, that might have been the setup for Godzilla. That could have been what happened. The movie mentioned nothing about Godzilla other than, hey, giant monsters are actually real.
There was a little throwaway line at the beginning when I think John Goodman was talking to somebody about like the Japanese trying to kill something with nuclear bomb tests. So yeah, that was certainly a reference to Godzilla, but it was a very short throwaway line. You'd miss it if you weren't paying attention.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I missed it.
I heard it, but I was, Yeah, but that really is the main flaw of this movie is just padding. It's like 2 or 3 really awesome fight scenes, and the rest is just boring as hell padding. So
yeah, pretty much.
I mean, if that doesn't bother you going to see a movie and you're okay with just those few fight scenes, like say with Jurassic World or whatever,
it kind of suffers from the same thing Rogue One suffered from.
Yeah, I still haven't seen that because I'm afraid to, just because of how much I hated the Farce and Gorges. I'm not calling it the Force Awakens. It is officially the Farce and Gorges.
Now, the Rogue One was like 3/4 of the movie was all setting up the final action scene.
Yeah, I'd heard that, and
I don't mind, because if you're going to give me characters I want to get invested in, then sure.
I heard that they didn't, but whatever.
I don't mind it. It's based in... We're getting off completely off topic, but it's based in Star Wars, so I'm willing to accept basically anything they do, just because I want to see anything related to Star Wars.
You haven't seen the holiday special, have you?
Of course not. You've never seen, this is going to completely be off topic, but the Power Rangers Christmas Story.
I haven't watched Power Rangers in years, so apparently he is going to be showing me the original movie.
We also wanted to see the newest Power Rangers movie, but by the time we did, the Farhaven Theater took it out of cycle.
Yeah.
It was still playing it down. It was actually playing at what used to be Gloucester Center Theater. It's now Scotiabank Theater, whatever it's called.
Scotiabank is taking over everything. What is with that? Whatever.
But it was still playing like last week when I was looking at movie
And again, we're getting off topic. Anyway, is there anything else we can say about Kong Skull Island other than it's 3 or 4 really good fight scenes and the rest just basically boring character white noise padding? I mean, like, as I was saying, it's not a horrible movie if you're willing to, slog through a lot of that boring stuff, or maybe if you get it on DVD, just skip through it and just see the fight scenes, it may be worth it, but if you're looking for a thrill ride all the way through, probably not the movie for you. I mean, yeah.
Besides Tom Hiddleston, none of the characters are memorable.
Tom Fiddleston?
Tom Hiddleston, sorry. Besides Tom Hiddleston and Samuel L. Jackson, none of the characters really are memorable.
And one thing I will also grant Tom Hiddleston, I wasn't thinking he was Loki throughout most of this movie. That just shows how good an actor he is, that he can be so iconic in one role and yet sort of just blend into another, like, almost naturally, and but that's just his good acting on it.
I always think it's I was like, oh, hey, it's Loki, and then the rest of the movie's like, I don't really think about Loki, that's how I remember him more than his actual name.
Sam Jackson, obviously, is always Sam Jackson.
I don't even know the name of the character he actually played.
Yeah,
I think they just kept.
I don't remember any of the character names whatsoever.
No, but I think they just kept referring to him by Sergeant or his military title or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. We can't even remember what that was.
No.
But also I will mention, I did love the character Sam Jackson played. He was basically sort of a semi-modern Captain Ahab.
Yeah. I think that's it.
Yeah.
There's not much else to talk about because I've completely forgotten it.
Yeah.
That forgetful movie, basically.
Yeah. I mean, again, not a horrible movie. I've seen much worse movies, but it's sort of just a meh movie.
I'd say it's on the level of Independence Day, but Independence Day had the benefit of already having characters set up.
You mean Independence Day Resurgence?
Yes.
I actually like that. It's a guilty pleasure for me because they just, at least with that, they went full ball to the wall stupid.
Yeah.
And I will forgive a movie, no matter how stupid it is, if they go all out with the stupid and the hamminess, and I will grant it did, and I got what I wanted from that.
Yeah, I think that's about it for this movie.
So, yeah, we're going to be seeing
The Fate
of the Furious in theaters today. Hopefully that one will be more exciting than...
Because the last Fast and Furious movie I saw was 6, which was like 2 movies ago.
The last one, I only saw part of 7. But yeah. Anyway, just popcorn flick.
Yeah.
So...
Until next time.
Bye.
Keep it weird.